Hey y'all. So I haven't done much recording today because I just really been like in deep thought about everything, just everything in life, everything. And I just been listening to my Kirk Franklin Pandora and just in deep thought. And some days it be like that. Some days you just be in deep thought about everything. So before I go do this next batch, I want to talk to y'all about how I think sometimes God gives us an opportunity to do his work and we miss it. And honestly, when I really think about it, and I don't know why, but I've been thinking about this since this morning, y'all. Like, these delivery apps give us an opportunity to do God's work. Like, I'm not even on no joking and playing stuff right now. Like, I'm so for real right now because, like, it's just been on my heart heavily. Like, when I think about some of my members, some of my people that I deliver to, like, there's always going to be those bad apples, okay? Those entitled apples, but then I'm thinking about what has kept me doing it so long. And it's not the money. And for dang sure ain't the shopping. It's literally knowing that some of my members, they can't get out for themselves. They're senior citizens. They're disabled. They're handicapped. There's all different types of things, but they can't get out and do it for themselves. So they hire, essentially, they use these services. They depend on these services, y'all. That's what I'm trying to get at. There are some of God's children that depend on these services because they are unable to do it themselves. And we get the opportunity to fill in the gap, to stand in the gap. That's what we say in church. We stand in the gap. We're going to stand in the gap for prayer. And we get the opportunity to stand in the gap and to help God's children, his fellow children. Like, I don't know why it's on my heart so heavy, but all day it's just been going through my mind like, wow, these apps really be an opportunity to do God's work. And sometimes we'll miss it because we're too busy worried about money. We're too busy worried about ratings. We're too busy worried about all this other stuff. Like, y'all, some of my members, like, I have one and she is disabled now. And she's young, y'all. I was born in March. She was born in May. Yeah, I can't remember the exact birthday, but I know her birthday's in May, because I've been delivering to her for so long now. But when I first started delivering for her, and she, she was one of the people, she always tipped me very well. And I had not met her when it took like maybe a few months before I actually met her. And she came outside and, she was talking to me. And the first time I met her, it surprised me because she said, I just wanted to come out and really thank you for all that you do. She said, yeah, I always tip you very well because you always go above and beyond. And I know you're in there, you're searching for everything, you're looking for everything. You're sending me substitutes. If the items are not there, like, you are going above and beyond every time. And that's why I always tip you so well. And that's why I take care of you. She said, but God told me to come out here to thank you face to face. He wanted me to come talk to you face to face. And I was having a bad day to day, y'all. I was having a bad day. And she said, I just came out here to thank you face to face and really tell you how much I appreciate you. I had never met her before this, so I didn't know that she was disabled or anything, y'all. And as she's talking to me, she has uncontrollable, like, body spasms and things, you know. And she's just like, this onset a few months ago, and the doctors don't know what's wrong with me. She said, I can't control it. She said, I'm having seizures. I'm having, you know, last time I tried to drive, I wrecked my vehicle. She was like, so I can't drive anymore. I can't do, you know, at my young age, I am disabled. And that's when I asked her, I said, do you mind me asking how old are you? Because she did look young. And just when she told me her birthday, and I said, oh my God. I said, we were born in the same year. Literally just a couple months apart. And then I had this one delivery where this cop had been hit by a car. Thank God he was still alive. But I got the order. I had no clue, you know, at the time when I got the order, who it was or anything, you know. I did the order and everything. And then when I got to his house, he took a moment to talk to me. And he was like, yeah, you know, he had a brace on his neck and everything. And I said, oh my goodness, what happened? You know, are you okay? And that's what he told me. He was like, I got hit by a pedestrian while on duty. And I said, what? He said, yeah. And, you know, we talked for a little bit, and he told me about how his wife had cancer, and he was taking care of his wife still, and all these other things. We talked for a little bit, and then I was like, well, I really have to go because I have other orders I got to do. But, you know, it was so nice meeting you, and, you know, I'm glad I got to hear your story, and I'm glad I got to meet you. And once I made it back to the store, he continued to text me, and he talked to me, and he said, Ashley, you don't know how appreciative I am for you. You don't know how appreciative I am for these services. He said, I was one of the people that was always complaining, like, this is not a real job. People that do this need to get a real job, and da-da-da. He said, and now I'm on the receiving end of it, and I actually need this service, and I am grateful for this service, because he said, out of everybody that told me that if something ever happened, I could lean on them, and all the people in my department that said that they would look out for me, that they would help me if I need anything, because they knew what was going on with my wife, and they knew that I was the only one that was able-bodied. He said not one person showed up for him when he needed groceries, when he needed tissue. He said not one person. He said everybody had an excuse why they couldn't help him. And he said, honestly, this app was my saving grace. Getting on these apps has been my saving grace. He said we wouldn't have food if it wasn't for you guys. Y'all, reading that while I was in the store and I'm trying to shop another one, I literally just started crying, because I'm like, these really be opportunities to do God's work, and you don't know it. Like, instead of getting upset about everything, instead of being upset about a tip, instead of being, just give it to God. You don't know. You really don't know what somebody else is going through. You don't know. And I promise you, for all the ones that don't tip, there's going to be somebody that's going to make it up. There is going to be somebody that's going to make up the difference. I promise you. And I don't know why, but that has been on my heart heavy all day. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. Now I gotta go do this next batch. So I'm gonna call y'all back in a little bit. Bye.